Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I was just about to resume our Let's Play for the Planescape Torment, and I realized that in the previous video the volume was a little bit too loud, and it turns out you cannot access the options menu from the main menu of the Planescape Torment. It's kind of weird. I don't understand why that is. I'm pretty sure there's like a hotkey or something I was supposed to press and gain access to the options menu, but right now there's no way for you to do this from the main menu. So the only way for you to do that is to go back to our load, to load our previous save, new mage. I actually played a mage character previously, and I went as far as I think I went as far as the Clerk's Ward, which is like the third area of Sigil, the city of Sigil, and the city proper, that is. And yeah, so I put that on standby. I'm not gonna go back to this unless like I want to experiment with certain ideas and stuff. But I'm pretty much doing the exact same thing. I pretty much did the exact same thing I'm doing right now. I was a very high intelligence, very high wisdom player, and we're gonna go back to this game. I'm gonna rely mostly on diplomacy here. Most of my experience will be gained from completing quests and stuff like that, and I'm gonna let my companions do most of the combat. I will assist them with spells and stuff like that. So yeah, last time we just started our journal, and Mort told us that we shouldn't attack any more people from this point on, because if you attack anyone, you will aggro the rest of the NPCs. They will all attack you, and we don't want like the whole mortuary to come down on us, especially because we will actually lose a lot of quests and hidden secrets and stuff like that. So yeah, combat is actually not only it's not harmful, it's not difficult. You can easily kill everyone in the game, but you will miss so much potential for experience if you do that. Alright, and I mean, yeah, concerning the reason why I want to go to the options screen is because I want to lower the audio, and I've actually done that. This was all maximized, so I reduced that a little bit, and hopefully the recording is going to be a lot better this time around. I'm just going to keep the voice a little bit higher than usual. And the sound effects I'm going to reduce just slightly. I'm going to put all of these halfway through. Alright, we're done with this. And yeah, let's take a look at the game. I think always run is active. Yes, it is. Now we're going to go back to talking with the zombies. Now the cool thing about the zombies is that each and every one of them in the mortuary has their own text description. Yeah, they have their own numbers, even they are neatly numbered. So whoever came up with these all this text for these zombies is a genius. I mean, they had a lot of attention to detail, and yeah. You see the way she was looking at me? Huh? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone? What are you talking about? I'm gonna pretend to be an innocent, good guy, I guess. Yeah, clearly I know what he's talking about. He's a lewd bastard, this guy. You gotta love him. What are you, blind? She was counting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me. I think you're imagining things. She's a zombie, a corpse. Yeah, this is the boring, lawful choice. I really want to go with this one, but this one will give you a more lawful image, I suppose. So I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, I think you're imagining things. A zombie, a corpse, a dead person. You probably didn't even register to her senses. Yeah, whatever. When you've been dead as long as I have, you know the signals. They may be too subtle for you to pick up on, but that's why I'll be spending my nuts with some luscious, recently dead chit, while you're standing around going, huh? What's going on? Where's my memories? Oh, gotta love Mort. Alright, Mort, looks like you're a little bit delusional here. You're never gonna have a chance with these ladies, unless you have some kind of necromancy ability which allows you to speak with them. Spoiler alert, you will have that ability eventually, but right now you're not yet. You see that? Each and every zombie has its own numbers. How about that? But they pretty much all can't do any. You can't do anything with any of them for the time being. Yeah, there's nothing to be done. Most of them just go around walking and doing menial tasks, and sometimes you will find certain items on them which will allow you to, you can steal those items, I guess. Or yeah, we're gonna explore that later on. So this corpse appears to be walking a triangular path for no particular reason. Yeah, he's just walking around in a triangle, and Mort has something to say. Looks like someone forgot to tell this thought to stop walking the rule of 3. So yeah, what's that? These corpses don't have much left in the attic, so they can't do more than one task at a time. When they're told to do something, they keep on doing it until someone tells them to stop. This poor guy probably finished some task and they forgot to tell him. So yeah, it means apparently when that's how their programming, I suppose, goes. When these zombies they finish their tasks, they just resume their old habits and they start walking in like circular patterns or whatever. So this is one of them. This particular guy apparently believed in the rule of 3 until he receives his next orders. So we ask him, what is the rule of 3? The rule of 3 is one of those laws about the planes, about things tending to happen in threes, or everything composed of 3 parts. There's always 3 choices and so on. Yeah, it's one of those superstitions in the universe. In the planes, belief is power. So yeah, things that happen, there's never a coincidence. If you believe in if a large number of people believe in something so badly, that thing will manifest and become reality. So you don't sound like you hold much faith in it. It's a lot of wash, if you ask me. If you look for a number, any number, and try to attach some great meaning to it, you're gonna find plenty of coincidences. Yeah, it's apparently he's an agnostic, so yeah, that's how he works. He doesn't really hold much faith in the universe. He doesn't really care much about belief, even though it's power. I mean, this is actually a universe where belief is power. Can you imagine the kind of stuff we can pull out? All right, and I forgot to tell them to stop. Who gives these corpses? Yeah, either one of the caretakers here or whatever necromancer raised them out of the dead book. Probably one of the caretakers. Yeah, so the dustmen, they give them orders and they perform these tasks. Alright, I will examine him a little bit more, and he has his own number, of course, his own description. We're gonna leave him in peace, there's nothing more to be said here. I'm just gonna examine each and every one of those zombies, because some of them might actually have a quest or something interesting. You might come across an item that will give you like experience stuff. So we just came across this receiving room logbook. Alright. Mortuary procedures. So apparently this is an instructions manual for the dustman, I suppose. Receiving room logbook, yeah. And it's called logbook, so I'm thinking maybe we could find like the names of the dead people that were brought in. Alright, there it is. Following this list is thousands of entries of bodies that have been sent to the receiving room. As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you notice the last page has been cut out. A mystery! Looks like there's a page missing. I totally forgot to give him the actual scalpel there. Okay, I have an impression that I may have forgotten to examine something around here. Yeah, I'll explain that later when the time comes. Maybe we haven't explained lore, but I think we have an opportunity to explain that in the next few zombies. Yeah. So yeah, this zombie is carrying a bunch of bandages, and he's just bandaging all the corpses around here. Yeah. So I'm gonna try and take the bandages. You sneak your hand out and take the roll of bandages. Yeah, we can easily steal stuff from them. They will never notice. They barely register the fact you're there. Alright, so this guy is still bandaging corpses even though he has no more bandages. Kind of weird. Alright, we're gonna move on to the next zombie worker. This one's number is 1201. It must have been a more recent zombie, I think. So it has a note caught between its lips. Yeah, somebody has done the stitching on this poor zombie, and they have stitched the note in its mouth, running, right through it. The note is trapped inside this zombie's lips. So we're gonna try and pull it out. We can't. If we try to remove it, it's going to be torn to pieces. So the only way to do this is to use the scalpel. And as long as you actually have the scalpel in your inventory, I think as long as you have it, this dialogue option will appear. And you can just click there, and you have gained 250 experience, just like that. So yeah, this is how you gain experience from the dialogue. It's like reading through a book, really. It doesn't really involve a lot of effort. I mean, sometimes you have multiple choices, but in this case, we had only one line available. So we click that, and we immediately gain that much experience. And I think the reason why this happened is because we're still in the beginning of the game. They're still giving you notes and helpful tips along the way. But later on, you're going to have a bunch of choices, and sometimes you might get killed if you make the wrong choice. So examine the corpse again. Alright, I'm going to apologize to him because, he doesn't even answer you. Alright, and we're going to examine this note. Yeah, I think this is one of those notes that will turn into something really cool. This is a foul-smelling note received from the mouth of one of the mortuary zombies. It looks like it was sewn into the corpse's mouth by accident. Alright, but we can still read it for some reason. Please, to whatever dustman reads this, I beg of you, I know of my legal obligation under the terms of the debt contract, but I'm prepared to offer more than my signing fee if you will cremate my body rather than raising it. Alright, so apparently in this universe, the dustmen have something called the debt contract. If somebody dies, I mean, if somebody signed this contract and they die, the Dustmen will legally have the right to acquire the dead body of this person and use it as a zombie. They can raise that body as a zombie and use it for cheap labor. So this guy was rather horrified by this prospect. He signed the death contract and he gave them he took their money, but then he changed his mind just before he died, and he thought to himself, I'm gonna try and change this around. I don't want them to raise my body, so I will offer you more. So how can we get more money? Apparently this note will allow you to get more money. If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my contract duty. Let my contract number serve as the key. So 1201 is the key to whatever it is that he has hidden inside this note. Yeah, it was too late to prevent the raising, and it looks like we were the lucky bastards who stumbled upon this note, which is supposed to rain a lot of money on us. Alright, so we have some directions to follow here, and whenever you come across an item like this, you can use it, and it will open its own dialog box. It's like you are talking to the item, basically. That's how it works, I think. This foul-smelling note has a strange diagram beneath the writing. It looks like if it's instructing you to fold the corners of the note so that their points touch the center. Alright, so it comes with instructions. There is a series of strange marks on each corner. 1 mark on the upper right, 2 marks on the lower right, 3 marks on the lower left, and no marks on the upper left. Alright, so his number is 1201, so I assume we're gonna go for 1 mark, 2 marks, 0 marks, and the third one, I guess? Yeah, the third one has 3 marks, but it's 1. I think this is the default end. Alright, so we're gonna begin with the upper right, lower right, and then upper left. Yes, upper right, lower right, upper left, which is 0 marks. As you fold the upper left inward to the center, you watch as the upper right unfolds by itself, resuming its normal position. I'm gonna fold it right back in. Something weird is happening. As you fold the upper right corner to the center, the lower left corner mirrors it in the action until all the corners touch in the center. You watch for a moment and the corners of the paper raise up, turning the note into a small 4-sided pyramid. So we have a pyramid that has magically appeared from this piece of paper. You peel back the sides of the pyramid and the paper disintegrates into dust, and we come across this triangle-shaped earring, and we're going to take that earring and just gain a little bit of experience there. Yeah, we're getting experience like crazy right now. By the way, the experience will be evenly split between your characters, and yeah, the splitting will happen, I think, evenly, but depending on your wisdom, you will gain a bonus. So if you have a high wisdom, you're going to gain a higher bonus to experience. The other characters, they will receive their fair share of experience, but they're not going to gain as much if their wisdom is too low. Like you see here, we have 393, while Mort has only 346. So yeah, it's a slight difference, but it will add up eventually if you're getting like 1,000 or 2,000 experience and stuff like that. And we will reach that point, by the way. Alright, so we came across this triangle earring. Yeah. Apparently this triangle earring, we should be able to use it at some point, and it will give us some money, I suppose. But we can't use it until they actually identify it. And I think there are 2 ways of identifying things, 3 ways actually. You can either use a spell, which is there's an actual identify spell you can use as a mage, which will immediately uncover the secrets of these items. You just need to have it prepared in your mage spell book. Another way is to use a scroll. Now, a scroll is basically the actual piece of paper that you use in order to learn the spell. You can use the scroll itself if you already have the spell, and yeah, and you can just use it to identify this item. Alright, now we have neither. A third way is to use the lore ability. Our lore is 17, which is not that high really, but the higher your intelligence and the more levels you gain, the higher your lore will become. The lore is basically how much you know about the world, how much you understand, how much you are able to identify, and yeah, so the lore works pretty much automatically. If you right click on any item, if your lore skill is high enough, it will be immediately revealed. You will immediately know the secrets right away just from looking at it, and you'll be able to use it. But this time around, it looks like we don't have high enough lore. In fact, if you give this item to another character and their lore skill is higher, they might be able to identify it. But right now, both of our characters don't have a lot of lore skill, so we're just gonna shove that into his ear. By the way, we have an eyeball here. It's interesting. Eventually, we'll be able to replace it. I think, give him extra skills and stuff.
Done.
Otherwise, why would there be an eyeball if you can't really replace it, right?
All
We're
right.
gonna talk to this zombie here. It's a female corpse with a braid, apparently. around her neck. Yeah, nothing interesting there.
I'm gone.
Talk to another female zombie. Mort seems to have calmed down right now. He's not going after these zombie ladies. Oh, this one appears to have been badly abused, actually. Her jaw is missing and some of the flesh has slid off her skull. Holy crap. Yeah, this one is in a bad stage of decay. Oof, we're gonna leave that one alone. The smell is just overwhelming. You can almost smell the decay. Alright, so there are no items around here. Look at this. This place is so gory. Dear God, how these dustmen can ever spend their lives without actually getting sick or something. They must have hearts of stone, these guys. Alright, so this one is the one, the braid I spoke to before. Alright, this guy I think has something to do. Nope, nothing special about him. He used to be a handsome man at some point, I guess, and yeah, his number is 1094, and that's it. Yeah, there's nothing special about him.
I'm gone.
We're gonna examine this container here. Nothing inside the container. And we arrive at the actual person, the most important person in the mortuary at this point. At least on this floor, really. Dahl, he has a lot of information for us. So it looks like he's one of the dustmen. And yeah, this crab looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and he has a slight trace of yellow like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. Now, I want to mention that even if you don't talk to the actual characters, once you see them, they will be available in your bestiary here in this journal. You click on NPCs, and yeah, there you go. Dahl, he's already present inside your journal, and you can read some details about the guy. Yeah, apparently he's not human. He has like these weird pointy ears. I've played the game before, and I think this is what a Gift Zerai looks like. A Gift Zerai, it's like a race within Planescape Torment. They're like elves. They look like elves, but they have a different history altogether. They're not really like forest dwellers or anything like that. They have their own thing going. We'll get to that. We'll get to them later. Okay, so we're gonna. Oh, I forgot to mention. Yeah. If you want more information, like a biography on the characters, you can just go for information here, and you will see like their combat log, their past experience, how much kills they've had, their favorite spell, which is the spell they use most often, favorite weapon, the weapon they use most often. We haven't used a spell yet, so this is clearly blanked out. There's nothing there. The strongest creature we have killed is a zombie worker, and you can go for a biography for even more. It's basically an autobiography. The person here is talking about themselves. So this is the nameless one, and he lost his memory, his possessions, and the only thing he seems to know is that he could get stabbed, beaten, burned, and he gets better. This regeneration he has some kind of regeneration power, I guess. I need to figure out who I am and how I got this way. I feel like something's missing, something inside, but I don't know what. Yeah, so this is gonna be our main quest, obviously. We can check out Mort. Mort killed 2 people, actually. He has a little bit more accuracy when it comes to killing stuff. And he has written a bunch of stuff here. Feel free to pause the game and read it. There's a couple of interesting things, but he tends to talk a little too much. And yeah, this is not. There's no way I'm going to read all that in a Let's Play. And we're going to run into a lot more text eventually. Whew, dear God, yeah. So he's just saying that he basically doesn't have much faith in the universe. He doesn't really care about all that belief and religion stuff. And yeah, he takes things very simply at face value. He thinks of what's right in front of him, and that's how it goes. So we're going to go back to Dahl now. We're going to greet him. Alright, Mort appears to be mortified, eh? And he doesn't want you to speak to the scribe guy. Alright, look, rattling your bone box with Dusty should be the last thing. Oh, he got cut short, and the scribe begins to cough and wheeze, and he appears to be sick, I think. And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick Dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place the laugh. Alright, so he appears to be sick. Alright, so the scribe becomes aware of your presence, and he turns to you. The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. He referred to me as a restless one. Does he know me? Know you. There is a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one, no more than you have known yourself. For you have forgotten, have you not? Okay, he clearly knows something, but he's not telling. Alright. As always, the question and the wrong question as always. But the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. Yeah. I am Dahl. His name is Dahl, and he just... I really don't know how to pronounce this weird name, and there's gonna be a lot of weird names further along the game. So yeah, I'm pretty sure every person watching this has his own opinion on how you pronounce these names. Alright, so his name is Dahl, and we're gonna ask him lots of questions. Our journal is going to be updated a lot in this conversation, and yeah, the primary reason why I asked all these questions, I want to fill up all of my journal options, because they might help you. You never know what kind of journal update will help you in a quest later on. It will open up more dialogue options the more you know about the world around you. And we're going to ask him about this place. You are in the Mortuary, Restless One. Again, you have come. Again, you have come? We've come again? Alright, so he clearly knows something. Before I can finish, Dahl breaks into a fit of coughing. After a moment, he calms himself and his breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. This is the waiting room for those about to depart the shadow of this life. So is this the waiting room for the mortuary, or is it a waiting room for those who are about to die? So yeah, what's the shadow of life? A shadow, you see, Restless One. This life, it is not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows, flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die, and here we remain, trapped, caged, until we can achieve the true death. Yeah, this true death thing, this is part of their philosophy, the personal philosophy of these dustmen. True death is non-existence, a state of devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion, a state of purity. Alright, I'm gonna blow through these options right now, and I will explain to you what this true death, shadow of life thing stuff means. Alright, we're gonna go back to the mortuary here. Yeah, the mortuary is where the dead are brought to be interred or cremated. It's their responsibility as dustmen to take care of the dead, those who have led this shadow of life and walked the true death. Your wounds must have exacted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home. Yeah, we've been here a lot of time before, multiple times. Let's talk about the dustmen. Okay, before I jump into the dustmen, apparently they believe in this thing called true death. Basically, in this universe, in the Planescape universe, if you die, you are reborn randomly in this region, depending on your alignment, I guess, and you will be reborn constantly. You will be cursed to live this painful life over and over. So the dustmen believe that the only way for you to pass into true death and prevent your reincarnation is to strip yourself of passion, strip yourself of all your ties to this world, and yeah, basically avoid passions about all things. And once you die, you will finally pass on to the true death, which is, according to them, a state of purity. It's an interesting philosophy, and the dustmen, they're like these. They're kind of like necromancers, but they're more like good necromancers, actually. They never use undead to attack you. I've never come across an evil dustman. And yeah, they can raise the dead, they can talk to them, they have very strict rules and specific philosophies, and they appear to be a peaceful bunch, actually. I mean, they're more like a faction than a religion, if you think about it. But here there's something really cool, there's something really weird here. A gathering of those of us that recognize the illusion of this life. We await the next life and help others on this journey. Explain to me why the dustmen want me dead. There is an interesting statement there. It is said there are souls who can never attain the true death. Death has forsaken them, and their names shall never be penned in the dead book. They will never be truly dead. So, yeah, I think I'm one of these people he's referring to. I mean, the guy, he's basically talking about me, and apparently, yeah, to awake from death as you have done suggests you are one of these souls. Your existence is unacceptable to our faction. Unacceptable, that doesn't sound like it leaves me in a good position. You must understand, your existence is a blasphemy to them. Many of our factions will order you cremated. Speaking of cremation, the only thing that could actually kill the Nameless One permanently, I think, is, you know, just like he said, cremation, extreme heat, or if you were like crushed into a million pieces, there is no way you're going to be able to put yourself back together again. So yeah, there are certain things you will never be able to survive. I mean, yes, you are immortal in the sense that as long as you retain certain body parts, like your body parts are not removed permanently, you will still be able to regenerate. But cremation is a one-way trip. You will never come back from being burned to ash. Alright, you're a dustman, but you don't seem to be in favor of killing me. Why not? Because forcing our beliefs upon you is not just. You must give up the shadow of life on your own, not because we force you to. Well, it's nice to know that this guy is he's not a zealot. I mean, yeah, they have their own beliefs, but they're not zealous about these beliefs. They're very accepting about them. And yeah, it's a good thing they allow me to live. Then again, I could probably slaughter them one by one if I have to. I will protect your right to search for your own truth as long as I remain at my post. Yeah, so my secret is safe with him, I think. Yeah, I am a scribe, a cataloger of all the shells that come to the mortuary. He starts coughing again, and as long as the stream of corpses flow through the mortuary, I will remain at my post. You say I have been here more than once. How is it that dustmen don't recognize me? Well, that's a good question. I mean, if they would have seen him coming in multiple times, they would have said, hey, there's something wrong. This guy is constantly dead at our doorstep. What's going on here? I am the one that catalogs the shells that come to our halls. Only I see the faces of those that lie upon the slab. Alright, so apparently he is the one who has the privilege of seeing the faces of the people brought dead into the mortuary. The dark of your existence lies safe with me. Well, that's good to know. He appears to be a nice guy, I suppose. It's nice to have someone like that on your side. Or at least he's kind of neutral, I guess. Sigil is our fair city. I don't know why I asked him about Sigil. That's pretty obvious. Let's ask him about the wounds. What's with the wounds? The wounds that decorate your body, they look as if they would have been sent a lesser man along the path of true death. So they are pretty nasty wounds there. Yet it seems as if many of them have healed already. So they're now scars. But those are only the surface wounds.
Updated my journal.
So what's a surface wound? You see there we have updated the journal multiple times here. That's pretty nice. I speak of the wounds of the mind. You have forgotten much, have you not? Mayhap your true wounds run much deeper than the scars that decorate the surface. I think he's talking about the wounds of the spirit or the mind, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty sure we people in the real world, we know that when your brain is damaged, you can't heal properly. Brain cells don't heal very well, so it may be that your memory has been damaged, your spirit has been broken, or stuff like that, or a combination of all these factors. How did I get here? Your moldy chariot ferried you to the mortuary, restless one. You would think that you were royalty based on the number of loyal subjects that lay stinking and festering about the cart that carried you.
Updated my
So you arrived on a cart. Yes, your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses. Ooh, your seneschal Farad was, as always, pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gates. So he knows about Farad. That's nice. So, who is this Farad? He is a collector of the dead. Yeah, collectors are these people who they will gather the bodies that die on the streets and they will deliver them to the dustmen. And the dustmen will actually pay them money for that. That's a very gruesome thing to do. I mean, they're not beggars. They're even worse. They're basically going around. They don't collect trash or whatever. They collect bodies, people who die. And there's very little way to know if these. They probably kill people before they die or something like that. That would have been really gruesome. Alright, we have such people in our society that scavenge the dead bodies of those that have walked the path of true death and bring them to us so that it might be interred properly. Alright, so, where can I find Farad? If events persist as they have, the restless one, you have a much greater chance of Farad finding you and bringing you to us again before you find whatever ooze puddle he wallows in this time. Well, I still want to find him. Alright, so he's warning you. He doesn't want you to find Farad for some reason, and he thinks that, Farad is a little too dangerous for us, and we might end up in the mortuary again. He has a suspicion that Farad might kill us, and he might be the one responsible for bringing us into this situation. I'm inclined to believe him for the time being. When he finally speaks, he does so reluctantly. I do not know under which gutter stone Farad lairs at the moment, but I imagine he can be found somewhere beyond the mortuary gates. Yeah, he doesn't know much. He's basically telling us, leave the mortuary and explore the hive. Therein lies Farad. Alright, thanks for nothing, good sir. We're gonna ask more about Farad, why he doesn't like them. There are some I respect, restless one. Farad is not one of them. He wears his ill repute like a badge of honor and takes liberties with the possessions of the dead. He is a knight of the post, which means thief, I think. Cross-trading filth of the lower sort. Alright, so what? Yeah, a thief, an out of the post. Okay, did this Farad take anything from me? Most likely, are you missing anything, especially anything of value? Not that Farad would take exception to anything. Yeah, I'm missing a journal. It just happens that I'm missing a journal. It likely is with Farad. Alright, thanks for the advice. I'm gonna go find him anyway. Can you tell me how to get out of here? Yeah, that's a good question. One of the guys by the front gate has a key to it, but it is unlikely that he will open it for you unless you are extremely persuasive. Well, once again, thanks for nothing. You don't have much to say, do you? Do you know who I am? Alright, I know scandals of you, restless one. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you and who now lie in your keeping. So, somebody traveled with me before? That's interesting. I ask that you no longer ask others to join a restless one. Yeah, restless one. Where you walk, still walks misery. Let your burden be your own. Ooh, that's kind of weird.
Updated my journal.
So apparently somebody has traveled with me before. Maybe one of my party members can be found in this mortuary. Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought that she had traveled with you in the past. Am I mistaken? Okay, I know nothing about her. Alright, he makes no response to that. Obviously, it's a very simple statement. The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the beers there. Her name appears to be one of the should be on one of the memorial plaques. Maybe that will revive your memory. Okay, is there anyone else? Doubtless there are, but I know that not their names, nor where they lie. One such as you has left a path many have walked, and yeah, okay, so apparently he's telling us there's a bunch of people who have walked with me in the past, perhaps one of my previous party members, before I recently died and lost my memory. Okay, do you know who I am? What do you do here? He is a scribe. Okay, there's nothing more to ask him about it. You sound ill, are you not well? I am close to the true death. Okay, he is close to dying, I guess, and he doesn't really care. He's dying and he doesn't care. Poor guy. And that's it. We're gonna leave. Know this, I do not envy you, restless one. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point, your path will return you here. It is the way of all things flesh and bone. Thanks a lot, Dahl. You gave us a fair bit of information there, but otherwise, you really didn't tell me much about how to leave, which is what I really care about. I want to leave this place.
I'm gone.
And by the way, it's a huge place. There's like 3 floors here. This is the 2nd floor. There's a 3rd floor right above us. And we're just gonna keep moving around. Oh, by the way, I think there's a zombie down here somewhere. There he is. This huge corpse is standing silently in a corner of the room. Apparently he's a large man and he has been a librarian. He's carrying a stack of books, so we're gonna examine those books. By the way, once again, if you want to read the details, feel free to pause the game and read things, because I'm not gonna read all of this text here. The book appears to be of old mortuary ledgers and stuff like that. Yeah. So one of these books has as you search through the text, however, you notice a loose page folded between 2 of the books. You are suddenly struck with the feeling that someone tucked it there to hide it. We're gonna take that page, and yeah, there's nothing more to it. We don't get any experience or anything like that. We're gonna examine the corpse again. There is nothing special about him, and his number is 1664, so he's a very recent corpse. Alright, we're gonna take a look at the receiving log page. This ragged page looks like it was cut neatly out of a book. I'm thinking the receiving log page was removed from the receiving room logbook. Yeah, you remember this page? As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you notice that the last page has been cut out. So somebody cut out that page from the book, which we found in a shelf somewhere. And here it is. It has been tucked away with this zombie. This ragged page looks like it was cut neatly out of a book, and I think this is the page that contains all of the names of dead people received recently. Yeah. There's a lot of details, but the last one is particularly interesting. It's on the 5th night, tiefling male, cause of death, slash marks, discoloration of wounds are consistent with grave rot. Ferret collected him. 3 commons were paid, no possessions. Yeah, I think this is me. This is most likely myself. Even though I'm a human, but they're referring to me as a tiefling. Now, a tiefling is a half-demon. This is somebody with parents who were one of them was demon and the other one was human. They will be born as a tiefling. They're rather miserable people, I suppose, and we're going to find out more about them eventually. Now, I don't think I'm a tiefling. I mean, in the description it says here I'm a human, but I certainly have the gray complexion of a tiefling, of a half-demon, but I don't think I am. I'm most likely a human, and I've been transformed by some kind of curse or something. Yeah, I am a human for the time being, but whoever made this page probably thought that I was a demon, and I don't blame them, to be honest. They probably tried to stab me or something, and I noticed that I heal very quickly.
Alright.
Okay. We're gonna search these shelves. More bandages, yes please.
Done.
Alright, so these bandages, they only heal you for like 3 hit points. They're not very useful unless there's an emergency, I suppose. This heavily stitched corpse is shuffling lazily back and forth. He has the number 506, and he has so many stitches. Its skin looks like a bizarre street map. We're gonna examine the stitches. I have a suspicion we can cut them. Yes, we can. Cut the stitches with the scalpel and then pull out the needle and thread. Thank you very much. 100 experiences, there's not much to go through. it's not really important. You slice the thread neatly, and as you do, the skin covering the forehead peels back to reveal the corpse's chalk white skull, where, to your surprise, the number 78 has been chiseled. Seems like you got 2 different designations there, corpse. Yeah. Apparently somebody has gave him a number twice. He has the original number, and then he has the extra number 78, which is probably one of his older numbers. Yeah. These corpses are badly abused. They've been stitched, they've been beaten down. Alright, this one 985. Okay, the condition of its left leg is bad. Something has eaten through its knee, a corpse mold of some kind, and it's wobbling unsteadily. So we're gonna try to balance him because we're good people, right? We're supposed to be a good character. Ooh, okay, so he is about to fall down, and he just fell. Yeah, he did. There is a crack from the corpse's leg, and the body falls like a dead tree. Dear Lord, yeah. And the corpse disappeared. Thank God for that. Yeah. How do you like those animation effects? There's something falls and just plain disappears. It has snapped from the torso, and alright, so apparently this entire corpse was rotting badly, and everything has been pretty much killed except for the arm, and we can use this arm as some kind of, yeah, it's there. Oh, so it's on the ground. Alright, we can grab this arm. 1 to 6 crushing damage, speed of 4, weight of 3. I don't feel this is very useful, and it's especially not going to be used by mages, so it's not going to be very useful for us. I think it might give you a tattoo or something eventually. I'm very much tempted to sell this thing. I mean, it does 1 to 6 crushing damage, and I have an impression that crushing damage is not as powerful as you might think. So yeah, I'm going to keep this scalpel. Alright, here's the needle and thread. This is our first needle and thread. It will heal you 6 points, whereas the bandage is only 3 points. So you might think the needle and thread is actually very useful, especially in the early game where we don't have a lot of hit points. I mean, you can heal your all of your hit points for just, say, 4 needle and threads. Yeah, you can pretty much use 4 needle and threads, and you can heal your hit points completely. Okay, so yeah, this is the corpse lane. I'm not gonna equip this. I think I'm gonna go with a piercing weapon. I think piercing weapons are a little bit more powerful in the early game. For now. Alright, so this is the corpse that we have tried to help and failed. Yeah, he just disappeared completely. This poor guy just disintegrated.
Done.
Alright, there should be something around here. Let's examine this guy. Whew, this one appears to have a slight squint. Its eyeballs are facing outward, I think. Yeah, they've taken several blows to the head. Alright, we're gonna ignore this one. Alright, there's this character named AV, and this is an actual dustman. I'm gonna ignore her for now because there's something we need to get before we talk to her.
I'm gone. Alright, I'm gone.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab everything I want from, yeah, all the requirements of that quest. And I will get back to her later. Oh, there's a zombie worker. Let's check this guy out. This shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. His number is 821, and he smells of formaldehyde. We're gonna try and talk to this one. Yeah, I did that on purpose because apparently this guy is a zombie. Is disguised as a zombie? What? Why are we disguised as a corpse? The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. He has a peculiar half frightened, half angry expression. Who you? What do you want? Yeah, that's what he's saying. Alright, this is a really cool dialogue option here. If your intelligence is high enough, you can lie to him and you can pretend that you're one of his contacts. Otherwise, you can pretty much go with the other boring dialogue options here. But I'm going to try to go for the lie because it looks like the most interesting one, and I think I have enough intelligence to go through with it. Yeah. Even though this is most likely going to make me chaotic a little bit, but it's just one harmful lie. Who cares? We have plenty of other opportunities to become a lawful character. Looking for you? You got a message for me? Yes, I have a message for you. What message? I have your new orders. Oh dear Lord, we're gonna get in trouble. What orders? We can ask him about his mission. We can tell him we want to find an escape route. But the third option is the most interesting. I'm here to relieve you. Give me all the information you've gathered and all the possessions and leave. We're gonna gain a bunch of items this way. I don't really care about it. I'm here to help you in any way you need. I mean, this guy, he's not very useful, actually. And boom! We gained like 6, 7, 8 items here. And a bunch of experience, yeah. Sometimes telling lies can give you a few things. Yeah, being quiet. Dusty's being quiet. He's been spying on all the dustmen. And he hasn't learned anything. So he wants to leave. How are you gonna leave? You want out? Go to arch on first floor northwest room. You need finger bone, shape of a crook. So we need a crooked finger bone, and we need to jump through an archway into a secret crypt, and we can escape from there. It's a secret escape route he made himself. Alright, crooked finger bone. Where am I gonna find those? More experience just by asking that simple question. Alright. We're gonna continue to interrogate this guy. Can you tell me anything about Dahl? Scribe. Oh, yeah, there's nothing more to be said about him, indeed. Do you know someone named Farad? Alright.
Updated my journal.
So why don't they like him? Why don't the Dustmen like Farad? He's a collector, bring debtors to the mortuary, sell them to the Dustmen, bring a lot of debtors. Yeah, so there's this suspicion that Farad has been bringing so many corpses that people are beginning to suspect that he might be killing people before they're killing people and just delivering their bodies. It's a gruesome thing to do. In fact, this is going to be part of our quest in the future. He's just basically foreshadowing events that will happen later on. So we asked him about Farad, and yeah, that's it. There's nothing more to be asked. We can ask him about a journal. Sunberg appeal you. No, nobody stole it from me. I think somebody, yeah. Okay, what are you doing here? Me spying on the Dusties, say what I see, nothing more. And they're doing nothing, okay. Where was that portal? We already know about the portal. How did you get to look like that? I think he can disguise me as a zombie. Yeah, me good at disguise. Me also got scars, lots of embalming fluid, me make good zombie, alright. Mort is actually being sarcastic, but it doesn't really register with this guy. He's kind of stupid, but I gotta admit, he's pretty good at making that disguise. Okay, doesn't that hurt? Nope, he's tough. Can you disguise me as a zombie? Okay, so you need a jar of embalming fluid and some needle and thread. Ooh, okay, I'm pretty sure I don't have a jar of... Actually, I do. He just gave it to me. Alright, so we can use this for the for that quest, which will be given to us by the other girl in the next room. But I'm gonna take this time to save the game. I'm gonna save the game for now. I want to show you what it looks like to be a zombie. But first of all,
alright.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna just go through with it. Let's just talk to him. We're gonna disguise ourselves into a zombie, because this is actually one of the few things in this game that will change your appearance completely. And yeah. Alright, we're gonna give him the items, and we lost a jar of embalming fluid and a needle and thread, I believe, and we are now supposed to be looking like a zombie. I can't believe you're going through this. How balmy are you? And we gained a bit of experience. Whew, actually, you know what? I am thinking we might want to stay this way eventually. We might use it as a sneak tactic to escape the Dustmen in the lower floors, just pretending to be a zombie. Alright, thanks. Stop it, Mort. Careful, the talk pulls stitches out, ruin disguise. Zombie no talk. You got talk slow. Alright.
Updated my journal.
And okay, probably not last outside mortuary. Yeah, the stitches are gonna fall out, the embalming fluid is gonna dry up, and no running. You ruin the disguise. Okay. Alright, so we can't run, which means that the only way we're gonna preserve this disguise is to disable always run. Yeah. Otherwise the disguise is gonna fall apart if you run too much. Yeah, and he's walking really slow, this guy. And they gave him the exact animation of the actual zombies. It's kind of nice. Alright, we're gonna take a look at him. Oh boy, he looks horrible. He's like I don't know what he looks like. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a game. Somebody from Fallout might have looked like him at some point. Yeah, that's a good zombie. Alright, so I don't want to stay like this, and I don't want to ruin the disguise, because I'm pretty sure we gained a lot of experience from this. Or, you know what? I'm actually going to keep that experience, and I'm just going to run. I'm going to run. I'm just going to remove this thing. I don't really care. I just did this for the experience. Yeah.
Done.
Because we're not. There's no way I'm going to walk all the way down to the mortuary. That is ridiculous. Alright, so we have a replacement jar of embalming fluid, which means we can use it to talk to that girl in the room up north. So this container is locked, and I think there's 3 ways for you to break these containers. You can either attack them with your actual weapon, or you can use a spell called Knock, which will allow you to break open any locks. Or you can be a thief, and you can lockpick these.
Forced it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna bash them. It's usually the easier choice. Alright, we have this copper earring and the bandage.